How to build a 6-month emergency fund from scratch. One unexpected job loss, medical bill, or major repair is all it takes to push a financially stable household into debt. And the only thing standing between that crisis and your financial security is a number most people have never actually calculated for themselves. A 6-month emergency fund sounds like it would take years to build from zero. Most people who follow this system get there in 12 to 18 months, without changing their lifestyle in any noticeable way. Here's exactly how, step by step, and stick around for step 5. It's the one strategy that consistently cuts people's timeline to a full emergency fund in half. Step 1. Calculate your actual number. Not a guess. Most people who try to save an emergency fund pick a round number like $10,000 without any real basis for it. The correct approach is to calculate your true monthly essential expenses: rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, insurance, minimum debt payments, transportation, and multiply that by 6. This is not your total spending. It's your bare minimum survival spending if your income stopped tomorrow. No dining out, no subscriptions, no discretionary purchases. Just the expenses that keep your household running. For most working adults, this lands somewhere between $9,000 and $18,000 depending on lifestyle and location. Calculate your specific number this week. You cannot build toward a target you haven't defined. Step 2. Open a separate high-yield savings account immediately. Your emergency fund should never live in the same account as your everyday spending money. When it's mixed in with your regular checking account, it gets silently spent on things that feel urgent but aren't true emergencies. A sale, an upgrade, a spontaneous purchase. Open a dedicated savings account specifically labeled for this purpose. Choose one with the highest interest rate you can find. Many online banks now offer significantly better rates than traditional banks for savings accounts with no minimum balance requirements. Critically, this account should have no debit card attached to it. Make withdrawing money deliberately inconvenient, requiring a transfer that takes a day or two to process. This friction is what protects the fund from impulse spending. We're 2 steps in and 3 to go, and step 5 is the one that genuinely accelerates everything else on this list. Don't skip it. Step 3. Automate a fixed transfer the moment you get paid. This is the single most important behavioral shift in building any savings fund successfully. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your emergency fund account that happens the same day your salary arrives, before you've had a chance to spend a single dollar of it. Start with whatever amount feels sustainable, even if it's small. $100 a month is infinitely better than $0 a month. And starting builds the habit that you can scale later as you find more room in your budget. The psychological principle here is simple. Money you never see in your spending account is money you never miss. People who try to save whatever's left at the end of the month almost always end up with nothing left, because spending naturally expands to consume whatever is available. Step 4. Build in stages, 1 month at a time, not 6 months at once. Trying to mentally commit to saving 6 full months of expenses from a standing start feels overwhelming, and overwhelm is one of the biggest reasons people give up on savings goals within the first few weeks. Instead, break the goal into smaller milestones. Start with 1 month of expenses as your first target. Once you hit that, celebrate it. You now have genuine protection against a short-term disruption like a delayed paycheck or a minor unexpected bill. Then move to 2 months, then 3. Each milestone you hit makes the next one feel more achievable because you've already proven to yourself that the system works. 6 months feels impossible from 0. 1 month feels completely achievable. And 1 month, repeated 6 times, gets you to the same place. One more thing before step 5. Most people get this next part completely backwards, and it's costing them months of progress. Step 5. Redirect windfalls and one-time income directly into the fund. This is the strategy that consistently cuts people's timeline to a full emergency fund in half. Any money that arrives outside your normal monthly income, a tax refund, a work bonus, a cash gift, money from selling unused items, overtime pay, should go straight into your emergency fund before it has a chance to be absorbed into regular spending. Most people treat windfalls as extra money meant for discretionary spending, which is exactly why they rarely move the needle on long-term financial goals. Reframe every windfall as found progress toward your emergency fund target rather than spending money. A single $2,000 tax refund redirected entirely into your fund can represent 2 to 3 months of normal automated saving compressed into a single transfer. This is the fastest legitimate way to accelerate your timeline without changing your monthly budget at all. Step 6. Cut 1 or 2 specific expenses temporarily, not your entire lifestyle. You don't need to live like a monk to build an emergency fund faster. You need to identify 1 or 2 specific recurring expenses you're willing to temporarily reduce or eliminate until your fund is complete. This might be eating out twice a week instead of 4 times, pausing one streaming subscription, switching to a cheaper phone plan, or temporarily skipping the upgraded gym membership tier. Redirect that exact dollar amount automatically into your emergency fund. The key word is temporary and specific. Vague commitments like, spend less this month, rarely work because there's no clear target. A specific, time-bound reduction, I'm pausing my $40 streaming bundle for the next 8 months until my fund is complete, is concrete enough to actually follow through on. An emergency fund isn't about pessimism or expecting the worst. It's about removing the financial fragility that turns ordinary bad luck into a genuine crisis. A job loss with 6 months of expenses saved is a stressful inconvenience. The same job loss with nothing saved is a financial emergency that can take years to recover from. Calculate your number this week. Open the account this week. Set up the automatic transfer this week. The fund builds itself once the system is in place. Your only job is starting it. Subscribe to Live Smarter Daily for weekly videos on money, health, productivity, and home. Everything busy adults actually need to know. See you in the next one.